What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TV Toycast YouTube channel. Today we are unboxing from the Maniacs Metals line from McFarlane Toys. It is the one and only Alice Cooper. Very excited about this one, and a line I haven't really dove into much, but it's Alice Cooper. Had to pick this one up. And also, too, I'm going to throw this out there. I hadn't really thought about this because I was planning to keep this when mint on card, just because I've always been a big Alice Cooper fan. And I have recently dove into the new McFarlane Super Friends line. I didn't really dive into Batman 66. In fact, me and Travis kind of talked about it on the podcast, how neither one of us were big fans of it necessarily. But the Super Friends line kind of hit us both in the feels, and we were like, man, I really like these. And I'm like, man, I didn't realize it, but these are the exact same scale as those retro-style figures. So I'm like, man, how cool would it be to have Alice Cooper, maybe get brainwashed by the Legion of Doom and then join up with the Super Friends. I know we're not playing with figures anymore, but that's kind of how my mind works. I always think back to my playing days, but definitely a cool figure here. Kind of get a close up. You got the top hat, you got the snake. Of course, he's got his stand. He's got a trading card back there, which is cool. A microphone, which is awesome. Love the carding on these. Love where it says metal with the duct tape. We've had several Music Maniac figures. Very, very cool back cover there. Awesome. One of 8,000 pieces, which is great. I know they've done Ozzy Osbourne. They have done, actually, Flavor Flav, which is an interesting one. Trooper Eddie from Iron Maiden. Rob Zombie, I believe, has had one. And a few others. I think Freddie Mercury, maybe. So these aren't, it's not their biggest line, but they've definitely done a few. It kind of makes me wonder, maybe we'll see Metallica in there. Maybe we'll see... I'm trying to think of other examples. Maybe Judas Priest or some of those guys. That would be really fun to see in this line. Hard to say. This may be kind of a one and done, but it is fun, and it's definitely something I was looking forward to checking out. And of course, Alice Cooper. Like I said, I've always been a big Alice Cooper fan. Of course, he made appearances at WrestleMania 3 back in the day, and obviously, Wayne's World, playing Feed My Frankenstein, one of my favorite songs. If anyone knows me, they know why. And yeah, very, very cool. Very cool figure. Of course, old school packaging here with the carding, which I do enjoy. We're going to take that, open it up. Of course, we got the trading card here. A lot of McFarlane stuff comes with trading cards, which I can appreciate, but not everything. I don't think the 66 Batman figures had trading cards, but I know the new Super Friends ones do, so that's interesting. Classic Alice Cooper there. Certificate of Authenticity. Figure 1,162 of 8,000, interestingly enough. In case you're keeping score at home. Cool stuff there. Get the figure out of the packaging. Like I said, not overdone on accessories, but again, I don't think this needs to be overdone on accessories. It's pretty cut and dry, right? I think that's perfectly fine. Got the stand there, which is also his mic stand, which is pretty cool. The snake already popped out of there. Not too hard to get out. It doesn't feel like a McFarlane figure at all. I don't know. All right, got Alice Cooper here. Top hat, not removable, but that's perfectly fine. Decent articulation on the arms for what they are. Kind of back and forth on the legs. Again, nothing crazy. We've got knees. It's almost like a big Superpowers, like a tall Superpowers. Of course, we got the snake here. I assume this just wraps right around him. Try to get it in position under his hair a little bit. So, yeah, there you go. That works. Let's see if he stands up decently, even without a stand. He's wanting to teeter. There we go. The mic stand, part of the stand. Pretty cool. So, as you see, this pops in. Maybe. Holy crap. Maybe not. Oh my gosh. I have to really push down on this thing. There we go. There's a will, there's a way. It does not... Well, that just broke. The microphone literally just broke right off. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we don't need that. I'll just take that out of there. My gosh. What a fail. That's alright. Like I said, I'm more of wanting to display him with the Superpowers or the Super Friends anyway. Just because I think that would be kind of an interesting take. Man, what a horrible thing right out of the gate. But Alice Cooper, not a terrible figure. Like I said, it's a little on the plain side, but I think that's all right. Like I said, I think it would be kind of a fun thing because I know back in the day, I always think like to the Scooby-Doo movies, right? Batman and Robin joined forces with Scooby-Doo. I know the Harlem Globetrotters joined forces with Scooby-Doo, and that's kind of the same era as Super Friends. So it would make sense to me that Alice Cooper would join forces with the Super Friends after maybe he was hypnotized by Brainiac or one of those evildoers of the Legion of Doom, and then eventually help the Super Friends and tell him, if you ever need help, I'll be around, even though he's covered in blood and wearing a snake and a top hat. Once evil, but always good, right? Type of thing. So, like I said, not the most home run line ever, but fun for what it was. Very disappointed that it broke the way it did. I'm gonna see if I can put the microphone just kind of in his hand, because that would be fine by me. But very disappointed that it just broke like that. My gosh. Stinks. I'm trying to think, making sure it did. Yeah, it broke right off. I mean, it definitely broke. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, but I think he can hold his mic, he can hold a snake, and stand here on his stand, which he doesn't necessarily need, but I think it does help. Not the most well-balanced figure I've ever seen. If I can find the peg hole. Maybe, maybe not. But what do you guys think? Is this music line something you plan to collect? I know with music figures, there's rarely a line I would feel like I needed to complete. But certain ones would be fun. Like I said, I think Rob Zombie might be kind of fun. I think Ozzy Osbourne might be kind of fun. But I'm more of a metal guy. Maybe if you're more into the hip-hop world, that's not your jam. But maybe Flavor Flav is. Trooper Eddie, I think, would go right along with this Alice Cooper, so I may dive into these a little bit here and there. They don't seem to be pumping out a ton of these either, so I do know Alice Cooper, when it came out, I quickly went and purchased it, thinking like, oh, I better grab that, because I don't think they're gonna last real long, and I think there's still some at my Target. So I know they're sold out online, but you can still find them at Target. So it's not the biggest heavy hitter that there ever was. But still, a fun addition, and one I'm glad to have. Like I said, I've always enjoyed Alice Cooper for what he is. And sometimes with these retros figures, there's just not much more that you can say other than it's fun, it's interesting, and like I said, I've got a couple of Super Friends figures. I did luck out. I picked up, so I ordered Batman on Big Bad and put him in my pile of loot, thinking he would probably be the quick sellout. And then next time I was at Target, I found Batman, Lex Luthor, and Sinestro, and I picked up Lex Luthor. I'll just leave it there for now. Pick up Sinestro next time. And went to another Target a few days later, and I found the Chase Riddler and the Chase Universe of Evil Batman, which was nice. So right now, all I need is Sinestro and Green Lantern, and I'll have Wave 1 complete. So those will be coming up relatively quickly on the channel, just because anything that I'm excited about will probably come up a little faster. And then I'm kind of thinking, like, certain guys I don't want to get from Batman 66, but I think it might be cool to get Egghead or King Tut or Bookworm, guys that won't be in the Super Friends line, and kind of integrate them in, because King Tut would have been a perfect villain for Super Friends. I don't think he ever appeared there. Fact check me. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think he was exclusive to, I believe he was exclusive to Batman 66. But again, not 100% sure. But I always thought he was a fun villain. I actually thought he was, King Tut, right? Kind of a fun thing. Villains are supposed to be crazy. Who wouldn't like that? But that's all I got for this edition of the TV Toycast YouTube channel unboxing, of course, with Alice Cooper from the McFarlane Music Maniacs. Make sure to check out some of my other unboxings. I recently unboxed Triax Skyver from the Cerazoic Warriors. Check that out in the archives. Really fun unboxing there. How about Lightning Strike Batman from Batman the Animated Series? You can check that out as well. Always unboxing a lot of wrestling figures, including the new WWE Legends Series 24 Kurt Angle. You can pick that up in the archives as well. Also check out What's on the Pegs. If you're curious what I'm finding on the pegs, stuff like this sometimes. So check that out every Saturday. And then once a month, I'm dropping new episodes of Tales of the Toy Box, where I do a deep dive into a specific toy line. Episode 1, all about Street Fighter G.I. Joe, is available now. And it may be up now. I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to drop it yet. But Episode 2, all about WWF Hasbro, is completed. And it's uploading as I'm recording this. It's uploading. So check that out as well. But that's all I got for this edition of the TV Toycast YouTube channel. Also check out the TV Toycast podcast, obviously. New episodes drop every Thursday with me and Travis. We also talk. We have a big main event over a specific toy line. We talk about news, what's happening, things we're excited about, things we're selling, maybe things we're getting back into. Travis, he'll have it. You'll hear all about that, I'm sure, and everything in between. So check that out as well. And I appreciate everybody who shares all my content and checks it out. It's very appreciated. And when we get to 100 subscribers, there will still be a giveaway. So subscribe, let people know, and hopefully more people will check out the channel. But that's all I got. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That's Alice Cooper, and we will see you guys in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.